The Global Membership Council is one of the 6 ICC membership councils founded on November 2011 under the guidance and the leadership of the ICC members globally, with the following goals: to establish the best method to gather input from global council members, to actively listen to interested global members and explore a vision for our future, to give a voice to members of the governing committee and members of the council, to gain increasing active membership in the Global Membership Council, and most importantly, to connect building safety professionals from outside the United States with US-based professionals who have an interest in advancing the cause of building safety globally. Membership is open to anyone with an interest in building safety, whether an International Code Council member or not. We are proud to building confidence, building community. Please note, we will be recording this webinar, and if you have any question, please just shoot them in the chat session, and immediately after the presentation, we'll have a few minutes for Q&A. It's my honor to introduce a young architect from Brazil. Ms. Glaucia Ito is an architect and founder of Maki Architecture, graduated with a bachelor's degree in architecture and urbanism from the Universidade Estadual de Londrina in Londrina, Paraná, Brazil. For 7 years, Ms. Glaucia has been working on projects that welcome residences and retail spaces. Her goal is to share content about architecture, well-being, and sustainability on LinkedIn and other social media outlets to demonstrate that architecture can accommodate people in diverse ways and for everyone. Having said that, Glaucia, it's my honor. The audience are yours. Please.
Hi, everybody. Pleasure to be here, present to you. It's my first time, so I hope that everybody can understand my English. So I can share the presentation right now.
Please,
can I share?
Please. Yes, please. Go ahead.
Okay. Just a minute. So, hi everybody. My name is Glaucia. I would like to share my experience in architecture, building, remodeling spaces to bring more well-being to people. So I want to talk about humanizing architecture, a journey to build a better place for people. So my name is Glaucia Ito, as Mada was presented. I graduated from Universidade Estadual de Londrina. So with this working, I want to bring my passion, and in this experience, that is, my passion is creating welcome environments that resonate with the people who inhabit them. So I want to bring the topics. So the first one, what does humanizing architecture mean? The second, understand the relationship between architecture and people. The third, exchange between architecture and people, meeting your drawing. And the last one, to sum up, humanizing architecture is about understanding diversity and bringing sustainability to your homes. So let's start in the first topic. Just a minute here. Just have to hide here. Okay. So the first talk that I want to talk about, what does humanizing architecture mean? Well, how we can find well-being through architecture. And architecture as a way of providing comfort and identity for people, and the understand the individual satisfaction, expectation through the communication. So I want to emphasize the communication as a way to find the humanizing architecture. I know that it's very humanizing when we're talking about this word humanizing. You know that we are talking about well-being, but we have to feel and learning with this word, because you know it's difficult to understand the well-being, how the people can find this well-being and space. Your home is very important to understand how they can find it. It's just not just to bringing a conception of home, but also people have to understand how they can translate this. So I bring a quote of this architect, Giuliani Palasma. In his book, he said in his book that called Habitar is the well. I can translate like that. So he said, home is not a simple object or building, but a complex and diffuse condition that integrates memories and images, desires and fears, the past and the present. A home is also a set of rituals, personal rhythms, and daily routines. So we have a simple way to understand, but the simplicity that we have to find, we can understand how the home can be built, how the complex that this place has. So understand this just with um, their own experience. And the architecture as a way of providing comfort, identity for people. So when you try to find this identity, we have to understand and translate our language. So people can try to find their language, and they try to get in our job an architect to translate this, but also this part of this work is good. The idea to these people understand by themselves. So Julian Palasma, they said about a psycholinguistic research that he said about situation personality, that they said that they find the conception of a home as our mother tongue. So this language translate with personal objects as a way of bringing safety and recreating sensations of our home. So when you bring these objects, for example, furniture, decoration, photographs, even the sense of a home, and then they having memories of their childhood. These things bring in a safety and creating discomfort for in a home, and also this translate our identity, and understand the individual satisfaction, expectation through communication. How can we understand the expectation of the client? We know that we have a social media that impress with the beautiful photographs of beautiful spaces, but most of the time we know that the expectation and the experience is not the same way that they understand in this publishing. So what we can learn from people's emotions and dreams in their function program. Function program we have in the process of a project. So it's a first step for understanding the needs and all the local situation that brings more healthier place, but how we can learn about emotions. And this part is very difficult to understand in a short time. So it's a question that I make and I want to answer in my presentation later. And before starting project, what do people really think about architecture is another question, because here in Brazil we have a difficult to explain about this for the community, for the people. And the second topic that I want to bring is some problems that we have here, and I don't know if it is the same way, the same problems has in having another in other countries, on the other countries. Sorry. Understanding the relationship between architecture and people. So overly function aesthetic architecture, I want to bring this idea, how can we balance this high standard as shown on social media? Is it a reality for everyone? And self-construction mistaken for a lack of communication. I know that self-construction, we can, I know that the self-construction is not have a same meaning for everybody, but here in Brazil it's a problem that we it's a common problem that we have in building construction. So I take this another quote of this architect Johann Palasma. Authentic architecture is always about life. So bring to bring the identity, we have to understand about life. So overly functional and aesthetic architecture. This is a picture of it is a landscape of my neighborhood here in Brazil, here in Londrina. It's a high standard neighborhood, and they sell the buildings, the companies sell these buildings as aesthetical places, and they pay for more of these because the people understand that they was already paying for a stylish place, a good place. And the functional, I think, is misunderstanding these places. So I want to share these views that we have here to understand the meanings that misunderstanding when we try to say about architecture. And this as is the building that companies building here. So this pattern of building always bring you like a high standard apartments. So one thing that I can understand when the client comes to get our job, that they understand that they already pay for a stylish place. So why they have to pay so much more for have an aesthetical place? So this misunderstanding about a stylish place and a functional place, we have this communication not very being clear when we have this idea. So where is the balance between functionality and aesthetics? When we come this idea that they pay this pattern of the place, that we can see the landscape, that most of these places is very similar, the buildings is very similar, and we can see the authentic place. So because we try to lower the cost to lower the cost to raising the profits, so we have this result in loss of a sensitivity and in the identity of the space. So we have to understand, if it's difficult to us to explain these places, how they how can you say, the authentic place is very difficult for us to translate it. So, and the social media bring this idea of a perfect place and good experience, how the people understand what the meaning of what how can they can identify the functionality and aesthetic place. So high standard as shown on social media, is it a reality for everyone? It's a question that I always have in mind when I started working in architecture, and I bring in a food for thought. I think the architects only post their projects to other architects. This phrase I always listen from my friends and some clients, that comes to idea that we just want to make a place, create a place for posting and impress other people. So I think this idea, this reality for most of people, is that architecture is not for everyone, just for the people who can pay for it. So the idea that I brought about my neighborhood, that has a high standard, that is high standard, and the architecture just bring this idea. So where we can find the authentic architecture is just for can pay for it. And self-construction mistaken for lack of communication. Here in Brazil, we have a big problem with this. So self-construction as a bad is the meaning as a bad quality of construction and unsafe, because our education is not so good for the workers. Bricklayers doesn't understand very well the projects, so it's very difficult to explain for them. And most of the people doesn't get contact. They don't contact with us when they want to remodel their places. So this research that Architecture and Council of Brazil said 85% of people who build or renovated their homes did not have a knowledge about the job of the architect. So most of them doesn't know about our job. So it's very difficult. We have a big challenge and have a good and have people that can pay for it, but they doesn't know about us. They doesn't understand how we can help them, and that this meaning that the architect can bring not just a solution, a aesthetical solution, but a safety place. And only out of 50 construction worldwide is designed by architects and engineers. This is a research that Carl Ratti, architect and professor from MIT, brings. They said. So we know that we have a lot of opportunity to work and help in another way. So could it be considered a lack of communication? I understand that other countries self-construction is not the same way, but here in Brazil, it's something that we have to discuss more. And I think and other places, maybe they have to bring these solutions for help us also. So the third topic is exchange between architecture and people. So I want to bring a meeting and you know about my journey. So what the possibilities can we develop for architecture can be more present in self-construction? How can be a set in this in self-construction? Understand the local language can help us understand the basic needs. In my journey, offering consulting as alternative can make architecture more accessible. So it's a good idea to understand if we're talking about communication and social media, we have to understand this experience. So the customer experience, I want to bring these principles if this is valid for us. So customer experience is the sum of experience, sensations, and opinions, rational or sentimental, that a customer has through the entire journey and life cycle with a brand, product, or service. So we know that customer experience always brings these sensations. It can be rational or sentimental. So we can translate in another way authentic places. So what the possibilities can develop for architecture to be more present in self-construction? So I want to bring some examples that I think is very wonderful. This work is just one example that she talks about active listening, and I will explain later. Active listening as a way to connect with people and community. So active listening is a good thing for all the fields, of course, but we have to understand how to connect with the people. And the principal goal is to design the system, not the finished building. So it's a quote of something song. And I think it is a good idea to understand we not finish everything perfect, but understand what they really needs, the principal needs to just starting this first step that I can say, architecture being introduced for everybody. So understanding the local language can help us understand the basic needs. So this place is, and this institute that I want to bring here is called Fazendiando. This institute, they help the slums, and they try to bring the community to participate, to develop the public spaces, but also they try to help the community to remodel their places to be more healthier. So was developed by the architect Esther Carro. So she said in their interview and presentation that her experience of active listening is a good idea for introducing these projectual techniques and brings these architectural techniques to be close to the community. So for the residents, the participation and the presence of professionals make it easier to accept the project as a part of their dream to improve their homes. So with these simple tools, drawing and bringing pictures and the way that they can translate their place, because these communities has not have a good education, so they introducing these simple tools for they feel comfortable to translate what they really wish for their homes. So it's a way that they can develop in our research in the community and understand better what they really need, and the community accept these researches, and they try to explain the project, and they can, how can I say, they can explain better all the process of that we have in architecture, for they build their be sorry, they how can build by themselves their homes. And I want to share my journey. It's offering a consulting as alternative to make architecture more accessible. So I thought that consulting is a way to be more flexible, because when we talk with some people that was they want to make a self-construction, they want to build by themselves, it's difficult to they understand the importance of a project. So a consulting is a way to simplify our tools, and they can participate more in their projects. So this picture is a sketching of the place, and the client can understand very well what they can do in their place. Of course, that we have a limitation to creating a place, and we have to simplify the what they have to do and what they have to buy, but it's a way that they can understand very well our presence in their homes. So this is the result is very similar, that when we have a good communication and explain very well everything that they really need to do, and even they can remodel these places by themselves. So So this is the result that I think it is a good idea that I'm still working on this. So I experienced that I want to perform better. So being accepted by the self-construction public, so it's something that I always think about and about this, because we have a public that can pay for it, that need a place that feel comfortable, that feel not just safe but healthier, because we know that most of the people think that a healthier place or a comfortable place, they don't think about the sustainability. So we have to bring we know how to bring an efficient place that they can, that they have the economy for them. They can pay less for all these transformation in their place. Architects being a part of the process and come up with simple ideas to be more flexible. So we decide everything in their places. So this something that most of them doesn't like, and because we not make all the process very clear for them, or because they just want to being a part, and so they just want to decide everything and not talk with us. So it's very important it's very important the architects know how to talk with them and understand the rhythm of the customer to get know the process. Something that I understand when I'm consulting some clients, that they have their own rhythm, and when we respect this rhythm, I saw that they accept better the project or the consulting what we want to, the ideas that we want to bring for them, they respect it better when we respecting this rhythm. And could people's dreams be divided into parts to bring more satisfaction? So this is a question that I make for you, for everybody, that I want to know if we can bring more satisfaction and meet this expectation with all the explanation that we make in the first time and a consulting or on a project. How can we understand these dreams? And to sum up, humanizing architecture is about understanding diversity and bring sustainability to our homes. So when we try to humanize an architecture, when we try to humanize a place, when we being a part, the architecture being a part in these places that that need being more comfortable but also safe, we know that we can bring sustainability because we know how to make a place, a construction that not waste materials. We know how to organize the process to building, and we have to know how to explain all how can we know how to explain these spaces for them. So communication is to encourage, communication to encourage architecture to show better choices for people to fulfill their dreams. Communication is a good way to is a good way to fulfill their dreams when we can. So it's a way to people can participate more in the process. So we have to encourage the communication. Development means respecting the time needed for our good experience to come. So we know, we can see that this respect the time and the experience, it's something that comes when you have an active listen, as we can see in that Fazendeando. So their process is it's a good idea to explain how this can work with a community. So if you can bring this for and simplify this process for most of the people, so we can make this in architecture, in not just a social architecture, but for everybody. And could it be possible to increase the quality of a self-construction? I think when I said being accepted, I think is the way to increase this quality. So I think that we have to bring in more solutions, more opportunities to work, and in the process, and even the project being more accepted for the people. So thanks for your presence. I hope that I can explain. I hope that I can explain everything that I'm talking here, and that's it.
Okay, Ms. Glaucia, thank you so much for your time. Humanizing architecture is a very interesting subject, and just listening to your explanations and your experience, it proves actually that we architects, engineers, building professionals, building officials, building inspectors, building safety professionals all over the world, we have the same challenges and also the same opportunities. So I thank you very, very much for this presentation from Brazil. And I'm going to open the session for a Q&A. Lawrence, it's back to you, please.
Yeah, currently, if anybody has any questions, there's two ways that you can communicate it. You can either raise your hand or type in the chat, and we'll relay that onto Glaucia, and we can go from there if you have any questions.
I think I see David Gibson. Go ahead, please. Lawrence, can we have access for David?
Yes, we can. Hold on a second. I'm sorry. David, did you get that? There you go.
That's super, Lawrence. Thank you, Andy Med. I found the presentation very interesting. I like the word about communication, consultation. I think for many of us, we sometimes get so wrapped up in our own day-to-day activity, and we sort of just focus. And sometimes we have to step back and say, let's talk, let's everyone get together, share our ideas, and then we can come up with a lot of sort of better solutions that creates a much more sustainable environment that we can all enjoy and share. There is so much experience, within our midst, and it's just trying to remember, let's share and let's move it forward. So thank you very much. I enjoyed the presentation.
Oh, thank you. I'm very happy to bring this issue because it's very important. It's something that I want to bring a different architecture that are not just to come with it. You know, here in Brazil, it's very important, I think, when we publishing a beautiful picture of a space and everything's perfect. So I always have this question how to change this. So when I started with the consulting, I understand that we can guide the people how to build in your own space. So it's not just for us just to say do this. They have to understand why they are doing this. So the speed of the social media brings the products and the service. I think that sometimes misunderstanding this idea and the experience. So this expectation when it brings this, they think that it's not they think they are doing. So I think it is a good idea. Share. When I started LinkedIn, I was starting this idea to have this exchange the ideas and sharing something different that we can remodeling this work the way that we start in a project or not it's not. I think the project have a good technical part, but I think that we have other ways to represent this. So we have to simplify this for people that really need the architecture and engineer also, but they really needed to understand the importance of this work.
Lawrence, I think we have Director James Sayer, please. If we can, yeah. James, hello.
Yes, hello. I really appreciated this years ago when I was doing a lot of design work, designed a lot of custom homes back in the 80s and 90s. One of the things that was really important to me was interviewing the client, the customer, and learning how they lived and what their expectations were. I thought it was the very best part of getting to finding a design for them that worked for how they lived their lives. So I really appreciate your presentation.
Oh, thank you. It's a good idea when we can attend and we can serve this, we can meet these expectations. So I think it is a good idea. Thank you so much.
Any other questions or comments?
If anyone can share I know that the culture is very different for each country. So I just want to bring the culture. Is very different to understand when we start a building. So self-construction is very difficult here to change this, but we have to be a part of this. We have to be conscious about this because we have to improve this. This in future will be a big. We're going to have big problems here. If not start to talk about self-construction, to talk about communication. So it's something that we have to change here. So I hope that I can listen your opinion, the opinion for everybody here and about the culture.
Wonderful. I think we have Director Shirley Ellis, please.
Yes, great presentation. And I know I've been doing some work, as I know Jim has too, with our indigenous tribes. And I was talking to some people concerning it, and they're like, well, we have built homes there, and then we come in and they've altered them and they've done this and that, and now they're not safe. And I said, so you built homes like you would live in, not like that tribal nation and their customs live in. And so you have to understand the community you're building in and what their needs are for the people that are going to in that home. And it may be more than just individualized. It may be a cultural need and a cultural way of doing things that you have to really understand so that it works. And as she said, it's humanized for them. It's customized for them and their needs. And it's so important. And it's so easy for builders that build spec homes to build spec homes the same in every part of the country or in every nation that they're building in, and it's not the same. So a great presentation. I really enjoyed it.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Alice, Shirley. Appreciate it, Director Alice. We have a question or a comment from David, please. Mr. Gibson, go ahead.
I was really just nodding in agreement because it very much is local needs, local requirements is local action. I can recall many discussions where I've been the only person speaking English on a site and the communication has been by mobile phone. You know, so speak here and you're trying to work within that environment of transferring information. So yes, I appreciate Shirley's comments as well. I think Philippe's got his hand up, Imad.
Thank you. Thank you. Any other comments from our audience or questions?
I think Philippe has a hand up.
Philippe, okay. Philippe, go ahead, please.
From the chat. Oh.
Just unmuted him, so.
Okay. Is he still on, Lawrence?
I don't believe so. Oh, no. There we go. Philippe, did you have a question? Looks like at this time, no. So any other questions?
No, I don't have any questions.
Okay, Lawrence, should we, okay, if there are any questions that you think of, please, forward them to Lawrence and we'll forward them to Ms. Glaucia so we can communicate that way. Ms. Glaucia, on behalf of the ICC and the Global Membership Council, thank you so much for this wonderful insight about humanizing architecture. We appreciate your time and efforts, and we look forward to having you in the future with other topics. And to the audience, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you all.
Yes, thank you very much. This recording will also be posted probably in about the next week on the Global Media Center. So thank you for your time. Thank you, Glaucia. It was really wonderful.
Thanks so much for everybody. I'm sorry for my English. I hope to improve if I have another opportunity. So thanks so much for everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
you.
Thank you. Most enjoyable.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye now.
Thank you so much.
Lawrence, if you can stay